Hey there, welcome to ScribeWare's virtual onboarding. I'm going to try to walk you through an onboarding session similar to what I would do bringing on another company into ScribeWare. So it's a nice place to get started with ScribeWare. So ScribeWare supports just about any kind of business model you can dream up. We've got scribers in 5 different countries at the moment. We've got a lot of different industries from home inspection to sewer scope to infrared to engineers. Even roofers and some pest people. So we support a lot of different industries, lots of different business models. Even within home inspection, we've got home inspectors doing checkbox reports, doing on-site reports, or doing super detailed narrative reports, and kind of everywhere in between. So with that said, one of the most important things if you're thinking of coming over is trying to find a starting point that most closely mirrors what you want. We do have various templates to offer if you're doing sewer scopes or balcony inspections, for example. We've got those available. For home inspectors, you can see these on our website. So if you go to our website, check out our sample reports. We've got a whole bunch of different things here, but we've got an RV template available. It's another industry that we're in. We've got Texas and Wisconsin templates available. We have a narrative template, we've got a standard checkbox template, and we've got a photo captions driven workflow template. So I'll unpack these three in particular, but there's quite a bit to choose from. It can be a lot to figure out, but really every inspector in the country, I think we've got scribers in most states now in the US, so we can probably find you something that would be close. Charlie Buell sells his template. This is an insanely detailed template if that's what you're into. Jeff Lease has made a really nice template for Illinois and Indiana. He's a teacher there. Chris Christoffy's got a really nice template for the Midwest and Milwaukee, kind of Wisconsin area. So feel free to kind of check these all out on our website, and we're going to be adding more too. So we've got more to come there, but those are all available on our website. So let's just look at a few of these. I want to start with we'll start with the narrative report. Here's kind of what it looks like, and you can customize this. So let me walk you through a finished report here so you have some sense of it. This first thing that you see at the top up here is the overview section, and you can just leave that blank and not have an overview, but I like to write sort of a paragraph about how the inspection went, and that's where you put it. What you see starting here with the scope and purpose and that language is all part of what we call in ScribeWare the boilerplate. So every inspector can make their own boilerplate, and we actually support unlimited boilerplates. So for me, this is the keys to the kingdom. I can use one template, and if I'm doing a condo interior only, I can switch my boilerplate to a condo inspection and get that handled. If I'm doing a commercial inspection, same thing. So the boilerplate is very powerful. These PDF buttons are where you can create a PDF. You can create a PDF of just the summary page. We do have a request list builder that's kind of a backdoor. It's great for real estate agents. You can make a custom PDF of just specific items, and then you can turn this one on or off, but you can have an invoice available that's just a separate little sheet. Over here is our summary page. One of the things that makes ScribeWare great is we support unlimited modifiers. So these are some of the ones that I use. If you don't want many, you don't have to have many. You don't like major concern, you can rename it and call it big deal or whatever you want. You can give it different colors, different names, different sequence. So all of this is customizable for each inspection company. This is kind of a bad report, so I had about 8 major concerns, 28 repairs, so that was kind of a tough inspection. But this is an example of one of the narrative reports. We're going to go into some detail about this later, but in ScribeWare, the bullets are actually really powerful way to write your reports. So what you're looking at here is actually a parent comment that the stuff without the bullets said basically, crawl space repairs are needed, hire somebody to fix it. There could be things that we're missing here, but examples of observations noted during inspection include, and we can hit a little button and take all of our photo captions and make that list. That's a really great ScribeWare feature there. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at. When you want to, for the end user, when you send this to the client, what I love about how this is set up, all the major concerns are in one place. They can click on these hot links and go in and see the pictures. And we've worked really hard to try to make the pictures high quality. So we don't, if you're using a high quality camera, we don't actually reduce the quality of the images. So we can double click on these and you can see the clarity of the images. We do offer the ability, if speed is more important, you can reduce the image size, and that can speed up things like syncing and stuff. But in general, we've managed, from my perspective, to have really high quality images and not slow me down at all. So now I'm into the complete report. This is more the chapters, and you can go through and just, the end user can kind of click on the various chapters and kind of scroll down to see what's going on with decks and balconies. So yeah, this gives you kind of a flavor of a finished report. Let's click on this one up here. This is a checkbox report. Everything will display as checkboxes. I know these are really popular kind of in the Midwest area, and we do have a checkbox report available that you can just use and get started with. So feel free to check that out if this is a style that you kind of like. In the checkbox report, rather than saying hire a roofing contractor, we sort of just gave this sort of roofing contractor a little tag that sort of recommends the contractor that you're recommending. So this is just a quick taste of the checkbox report. And then this is a really cool report. This got really, we actually have a scriber in Kauai who's been fleshing this out, but this was a concept that my friend Charles Buell really helped work on, and was sort of an idea that he and I had. This entire template is really driven by photo captions. So there's not very many comments in this report, and most of the comments get made by just captioning your pictures and then using our photo captions to bullet, which is really a pretty cool concept. Arguably, you could do an entire inspection and all you need to do is take pictures and caption them. And then obviously you need to kind of get the pictures where they belong, and check some boxes of description. But this is a really, all these little these bullets came from the photo captions. So this is a technique that we're actually continuing to improve on and kind of pioneer, but photo caption driven workflow. Really neat. So here you can see why have 10 different roof repair comments when you can roll them into one. So that's the idea behind this template. So cool. That gives kind of an overview of the 3 templates we ship with. And then remember, we can import templates from Spectora, Home Inspector Pro, Home Gauge, Inspect It, or if you just want to get a library of your comments into a spreadsheet, we can import those for you. So I hope this little overview helps. This was kind of phase 1 of our virtual onboarding, and this was just going over choosing a starting place and giving you at least a flavor of all the different types of reports that are available. And one of the best places to kind of look around and see things is our sample reports on our website. You'll often see we've got UK templates, but you'll notice that some of them look different, and we support custom CSS as well, which is a cool customization you can do to be changing colors and doing all kinds of stuff to kind of make your reports stand out. All right, thanks for watching this segment, and next we're going to go over some basic desktop operations. Okay guys, part 2 of our virtual onboarding here. We're going to go over some just basic desktop stuff with both the home page, and then we're going to look at a narrative report and just kind of get a sense of kind of how the whole thing works here. So on the home page, this is all of our jobs. These are actually essentially templates that I have that are saved out in the future. We're going to do a whole segment here on templates, so we'll get to that in a little bit. These other jobs are jobs that are scheduled, and so they've come over from my Keystone system and they're out in the future. And then these would be jobs that are completed that I've already sent out and they've been published. So these are all just jobs that are waiting to be done, or I've done, or templates. Here we have an incredibly important feature, submit feedback. If you click on that, this sends our whole team a message. One of the things about ScribeWare is that we're kind of a newer state-of-the-art software. We're constantly improving the system because we can, and we appreciate your feedback. And if you're having issues, if you use this, that'll tell us what's going on. It even sends our coders trace logs, so they might be able to see why your machine isn't responding to the software well. As I said, we operate in probably 5 different countries and all over America, and all these different templates and literally hundreds of different devices. So most of our support, if there's an issue, is usually around for some reason a given device isn't playing well, and the submit feedback's built into both desktop and our mobile app, and it helps us kind of right the ship quickly if you're having trouble. So please feel free to use that if you are a scriber. Below that is settings, and we will do another video on the settings tab here in a little bit. So this is where we can we can up here at the upper right, you're going to see these are sync with the ISN and sync with Keystone. Those are 2 scheduling systems that we integrate with. We also integrate with Next Inspect, so if I were to hit that, all my stuff would come over from Keystone. Up here is where you could schedule a job out in the future. You can create from template, or then this one up here is create narrative style, and basically this one is going to always serve up to me the last template that I use. So for me, more often than not, I'm just clicking this one, but if you click this, you'll see you won't have all these templates if you're just starting with us, but these are all templates that I've built and are available to me in my system. So let's see. I think that kind of gets you the home page. So let's go look at, I'm going to start a narrative style report. This is the one I use every day, and it'll just be a good sort of way to show you desktop and just sort of basic operations. So what over here on the left are all of the chapters of the report, and then within each chapter, we go in the garage chapter, you have sections of the report, and then within a section I want to kind of help you understand the anatomy of a section. So garage type is red, so that's actually a required field. And when I fill it in, the red will go away. Here are our items to review, 196 items for me on a new inspection. Attached, now there's 195, so I've filled that in. Now this is all designed to show up in the report. This stuff down here, you notice how it looks different. This is in italics. We call these inspector only notes, and what we have the ability to do is build out lists of things that are available to me at the click of a box. So I could water damage dry. So water damage dry will not show up in the report, but this narrative will show up in the report. So the inspector only notes are really a brilliant way to have the functionality of a checkbox report on the back end with the simplicity of or the sort of beauty and detail of a narrative report for the end user. And every inspector can customize and build their own groups of inspector only notes. If you use the narrative template or the checkbox template, we have quite a bit of this stuff built out. So if, for example, I'm in the garage and there's a damaged door, I can just click that and get my comment and go. We have some other things too here. You can build a true inspector only notes. You see how this one is blue. So with this one, even the comment will not show up in the report. And this is just for me, my benefit only, and it's a link to the DASMA protocol for testing garage doors. So there's actually a fair amount of technical stuff built into the narrative template, and you can build your own in too. And notice how with these inspector notes you can do them as checkboxes, or you can build out these sort of lists of various things that you can even have them unfold, kind of with the treed option of things. So lots of stuff available there. We also have within a section, you can just add a blank observation and start typing away if you want. You could view your favorites. So you can make a list of your own favorites, and this is kind of cool. You can add them by just clicking on them. So if you, this is particularly valuable if we were bringing over your template from another system. You can just go through, and how you add them to your favorites is really easy. You just check the heart button here. So if you don't have a heart, it's literally just check it, and then that'll add it to your list of favorites, and it'll be saved per section. So you can quickly build a list of your favorite comments that you're going to use within each section. So that's kind of cool. Let's see, over here on the right side, we'll get into that with the photos and videos. I'll show you what these are as folders, and they're folders for your illustrations, or down here is your mobile media, and up here is another media bar. We'll go over the difference between those, but these are where you can add illustrations, and to just drag an illustration in, you can just bring it in like that. Same with, that's how pictures work, and you could highlight a whole bunch of things and drag them all in at once. So pretty straightforward. Cool. I think that gives you just kind of a basic working, how to write a report. I mean, you add observation. As you fill things out, your required fields go away. And when you're done, you can publish the report. So publishing happens here. You can also preview it if you want to see what it looks like, or you can publish it and you can send an email if you have the client's email address. If you're using Keystone, it'll actually send it straight to Keystone. Or you can just publish without sending an email. Let's go ahead and do that. That's actually great for you to see. When you publish without sending an email, if you go to the client and property information page at the very top of the inspection, this is where the URL is created. So you can actually click that and open it up, and now you're kind of inside the report. You can see there's not much here other than my boilerplate, but that's sort of how you get to the report. This is where you can add your cover photo on the client and property information page. This is also where you can change your boilerplate. So if this job were actually going to be a condominium or a commercial building, I could go ahead and toggle the boilerplate to something else. I think because I'm making the video, it's kind of slow to load them all, but it'll show them here in just a second. Here we go. So I could change it to a commercial boilerplate. Now I'm all set for a commercial inspection, and obviously this is where you put your client name and agent info and all that kind of stuff. If you're using our contracts, then you can come up here, and again, because I'm recording the video, it takes a second, but you could load an agreement. So here's like my basic residential agreement, and then when you hit this button, this would send the agreement out to the client. So we do support getting contracts signed. So cool. I think this just gives you, a basic overview of how the desktop works and functions. In our next video, we're going to go over the settings tab right down here, and we'll kind of review all the various things that you can do in the settings. Thanks. Alright guys, so we'll keep moving on desktop here, and I want to review the settings tab. So I just clicked on settings. If you didn't see that, that's at the bottom left, and this is where you fill out your company profile. So or your name if you're in a company. You can add a bunch of badges here. You can add signatures here. You can show review item count on the home screen if you want to turn that off. Place you can do that. So all kinds of good stuff here. Company, this is where you put in your company logo and all your company information. Let's see, billing, so you can choose a subscription. We'll go over this a little bit at the end. This is your boilerplate, so you can come in and add all kinds of different boilerplate. You can see I've got all these different boilerplates. This is report template options. So a lot of power here. Within any given template, you could choose the template you want, and then you can choose which boilerplate will be default with that template. You can have your summary page either at the beginning of the report or the end of the report, or have no summary at all. You can include an invoice or receipt in the report or not. You can sort observations by modifier. So if you have two repairs and a major concern, it would put the major concern at the top if that's how you have it set up in your modifiers. You can include a table of contents. You can include chapter names in the summary, or you can include section names in the summary, or both. So then in the summary page it could say roofing chapter chimney section. It would say, roofing and then chimney, and then you'd have the comment. So I have them both set. I think it helps the summary page be more clear. You can show the cover photo as a required item if that's part of like your company standard. That can help. And then you can turn off made in ScribeWare. That came up because a lot of people feel like we give them a competitive advantage and they don't want their competitors to know what they're using. Let's see, this is where you can change the summary title and the report title, so the complete report. And I used a little emoji with a camera so that people knew that that's where to find the pictures. Template description, they can describe it. It doesn't really matter that much. Invoice items, that's all pretty straightforward. Contracts, this is where you can load your various agreements. You can have as many different agreements as you want. We have placeholders so that you can put in the inspector name and the client name and the date and report numbers and all that kind of stuff. Observation modifiers, this is such a fun one. You can build as many modifiers as you want. We will only print in the report a modifier if you've used it in that report. So I have one for homeowners association. I have one for incomplete items. I really think this is absolutely critical. If you want to write detailed reports, I don't think you can do it without confusing the client unless you have a lot of modifiers. And I would argue that you could even be writing inaccurate reports. A really good example is if you're doing a new construction, I think there's a big difference in a new build between an incomplete item and a repair item, and I have the ability to distinguish that really quickly. So love all these. You just to customize them, you open them up. You can hide them if you don't like how many we have. You can change the color, give them a different icon. This is where you set up your summary page, so you can choose whether you want that modifier to go to the summary. You can include the media in the summary if you want. So if you want your pictures in the summary page, this is where you do that. You can actually exclude them from a report. That's sort of a whole other thing. We won't get into that, but you can rename them. So instead of a major concern, you could call it something else. You can define what that means to you and your company. And then I love this description: in case of no instances, no major concerns were noted during inspection. And I think that's really nice. What I was finding is that if I just had repair items and I had 20 repair items but no major concerns, the weight of the fact that, hey, there was nothing major here was lost, and it seemed like, my God, there's all these things to fix. So you can have it set so that right here, show even if no instances, and so that way all of my reports will say no major concerns, or 1 or 8 or however many there were. So that is kind of a quick, and you can save all of these modifiers per template. So if you have a different template, you toggle that and create a different set of modifiers. This is a really powerful customizable part of ScribeWare that can let your report stand out from your competition really easily, and it's all built in. Team, if you have more than one inspector on your team, this is where you invite other inspectors to join your group. So this shoots them an email, it'll send them a download link, and then when they download it, everybody will be in your same group. We've got admin controls, so you can give somebody full admin status, or you can turn it off and let them view, they could view reports by others, but they can't edit libraries and templates, for example. So we've got pretty good admin controls for your team. This is where you can delete accounts if somebody is leaving your team. So that's the team button there. Agents, we do keep track of your agents. We'll start hopefully at some point also keeping track of clients, but this just keeps track of agents that have used you. Integrations, we integrate with the ISN, we integrate with Keystone, we integrate with Next Inspect, which I don't think is showing on here, but that's another integration that you might just do on their end. And we actually have a Zapier integration, which is really pretty cool. You can integrate with Zapier and build all kinds of different things to integrate with ScribeWare. PDF forms. So if you are in Florida, if you need to do, and WinMit, 4-point, NPMAs, pest inspection, this is where you can map. And so when you drag a PDF into ScribeWare, it'll automatically start filling out the property address, the company name, the inspection date, the report address, that kind of stuff. This is pretty cool for PDF stuff. Advanced, this is where you do custom CSS. So all these little funny bits of code here can be done on top of basic ScribeWare code, and that lets you customize the look of both the report and the PDF. And it lets us deliver report looks that are just completely customizable and different than anything on the market. This is just telling us what's new in all the different things that we're working on and fixing and improving all the time. Back on this front one too, this is where you can log out of an account or delete an account. Good thing to know about. So I hope this wasn't too quick, but that was a nice overview of settings. The next thing we'll go over is how to manage photos and videos. All right, guys, so now we're on to photos and videos. This is not going to be absolutely everything. I'm just trying to give you a basic overview of how this stuff works. Basically, the real keys to the kingdom here are this folder that says mobile media down here. And this is, if you take pictures on a mobile device, then they will sync with this report automatically. So I'm at home writing this doing this video for you, and I'm taking a couple pictures of some silly things on my desk, and those are now populating over. So that's how syncing works, and that's in theory, if I had a partner in Istanbul, they would be seeing all these things coming in too. If you wanted to add other pictures, so let's say these are your inspection pictures, but you want to add infrared or drone, and you've downloaded those to your computer or a sewer scope, you hit the plus mark up here, and this is like a backdoor to your computer. This again, that was the plus at the top of that little bar. So now this opened up to a folder of pictures, but I could go into my pictures folder, and I've got all kinds of different things. So we'll open up, this job is like this A-frame house I did. We'll open that up, and you could choose different pictures. I'm going to get to the bottom. We'll just, I don't know, we could, if you hit the control or the shift key, excuse me, you could grab a whole bunch of them, and then you could hit control and be able to individually get some. So we'll bring a bunch of stuff over here. So the video will take the longest to load, but we brought over a video. And now again, this would all be available on all your devices. It's all backed up. So even if you don't use the pictures in the report, they will be saved when you open the report and go under this mobile media. This really replaces things like Google Photos and stuff. You just don't need it. So we could go, I don't know, here's some infrared pictures. We could go to laundry, and we'll go to dryer, and we could thermal images, right? So I often just show that the dryer was working when I was out. So that's how you drag them in. You can change the size of these things. You can also change them here, so you can make them really big, you can make them small. We have some nice filters in the photo area. These filters, you can hide media used in this report. I unchecked that, so you can see I used this one that gives you a little green check mark. You can hide media if you don't want it. So if I want to get rid of this picture, I highlight it, and you come up here, and that just makes it go away. You can also sort with the newest media first, so that's kind of a cool one. But that just changes like the sequence of your pictures. And here's a video. If you wanted to drag in a video, I don't know, we could go navigate into fuel storage. I can't remember why I took a video of the propane tank, but we'll just click a little note here and drag that in, and now that's available to you. So if you want to preview a video, you double click on it, and then it actually brings it up in a different little pane. There it is on Windows. So now it's going to bring that up, and you should be able to stream this video.
Adding
My computer's having a hard time
adding
videos
some
and
bracing to the
videos
propane tank. It's just kind of wobbly here and could roll down the hill.
Cool. So that's how you can preview a video. So we do have another way that you can add pictures too. This one up here is another media folder. The difference is that all this does is create a backdoor to your computer. So if I click on the folder again up here, kind of like the plus mark, now it's like searching through my computer. I can go into my pictures, and we could go to that A-frame again, and it's gonna, all I needed to do is click on that folder, and it just made everything in that folder available. It's still kind of syncing, all the stuff's moving over. Now these are not auto shared with everybody on my team. They are not backed up in the cloud. This is just kind of a shortcut into that folder. But I can go ahead and use these pictures. I could go into Garage, and we could hit paper-faced installation, grab those comments and drag them in, and these will, now this is backed up in the cloud, and this is shared, but only what gets used in the report. So that's what this media button is up here. Let's see. Let's go over photo editing stuff. So we can double click on an image and open it up, or actually just needed to single click on it, excuse me. So this opened it up. This is where you can add captions. So paper. Now you can see we actually have a separate photo captions library. So I just started typing in paper. The paper face of the installation should be covered. And let's say I want to change that comment. It should be covered or removed, right? Be a little more accurate. And so now come up to the three dots here, and we update the library. So now I've made that comment better. And again, to get that comment, I just we could delete it, and I just start typing in paper. Everything is keyword based, and boom, there it is. So this is where you edit stuff. So we've got the ability to add arrows. You could add ellipses. We've got a very cool magnifier over here. First, let me show you the crop, because this is where you can rotate the pictures. You can also crop them down if you want to. Let's crop that, and we'll save it, and then I'll show you the magnifier here. You can play around with all these, but anyway, this is how you get to it. Open it back up, and we'll do the magnifier, add highlight. You can annotate that, so you could put a little line showing that kind of thing. So all kinds of stuff you can do here, but this is our whole photo editor. So we'll hit save and close, and it'll save all that stuff. Pictures can also be resequenced, so you can drag them around and resequence them, which is kind of nice. We could put a few more in here so you can kind of see that, but if you want this one to be first, you just drag it up. So that's pretty nice. Okay, I think that kind of gives you a little taste and overview of photos and videos and how the syncing worked and the mobile media and stuff. This is also where you find your illustrations. So if you want it, these are all just little folders, and you can edit these. There's three dots. You can open up and build little folders of illustrations. You can add more illustrations. Just hit the plus mark, right? And that's a backdoor to your computer, and you can go onto your machine and get other illustrations and add them. And if you want to drag an illustration in, super easy. So cool. I think this helps with videos and photos and stuff. Now the next segment here, we're going to go over photo captions to bullets, gunny sacks, and text replacement. Alright guys, so in this video I want to go over photo captions, the photo captions to bullets feature, gunny sacks, and text replacement. So some really fun stuff about writing comments here. This is all about authoring narrative comments. So the very first thing that's good to understand is everything in ScribeWare is keyword based. So I could type in tune up and it's going to go sift through my whole library looking for tune up. So grab a comment here, and now that's in my library or in the report. So everything's keyword based. But let's go ahead. The first feature I want to show you is photo captions to bullets. This is my favorite feature. So for me, what I found is that a lot of my time was spent on report writing dealing with multiple defects with the same system. So Dex is a really good example. And I hated writing a report where I would have like 10 different repair comments. I wanted to write one, like, hey, somebody needs to fix the deck. So that's kind of, I almost only ever use these three deck comments and then maybe one of these down here, but mostly I use one of these. So let's use, tune up deck repairs. So this is a parent comment is what we sort of call this. Deck repairs needed, and then recommendation, hire somebody to fix it. Super vague, no good information there. So now let's go to our pictures and let's go, you can see I've captioned a bunch of these, and on mobile I've gotten really good at voice to text captioning. And what's great about that is, trying to caption a whole paragraph is actually kind of difficult. It's just really hard to say something that you would be okay having an attorney read. But with what I'm doing with photo captions is literally just what and where. So, where did I find it and what did I find? So here's just an example. These would be 4 caption pictures. I can now put my cursor here and hit our magic button here. This is the one with the mountains, and make this bulleted list. So I can't tell you, I just think this makes it really easy to read. Deck repairs are needed. If there's, in this case, multiple decks, but if there's one deck, I can hit the little text replacement and toggle it over to one deck. Examples of observations noted during inspection include wood decay at the softwood decking, the deck's missing blocking where the joists land on the beam, wood decay noted. And you could clean this up a bit. I'm using Grammarly. It's what the little red lines are. So just help me. We also have spell check, but the Grammarly's even better. The back deck is also missing proper lag bolts for ledger board. So, and then if you wanted to, we could type in bolt, and it's going to go sift through the library. And I've got another comment on this, and I could even go grab the illustrations from my other comment and kind of drag them into this one if I wanted to, and then delete that comment. So that's just another technique. So really I didn't have to hardly type a darn thing, and I made this really beautiful comment. So that's photo captions to bullets feature. I'll also, we have incredible text replacement. So actually I was going to show you my deck gunny sack, but let's kind of start simple with the text replacement. I'm going to go to main bathroom, and we'll just show you slow drain. So the simple comment here, slow drain at and then which side sink. So you double click on it. We could have the main bath sink, right? Just toggle that one and hit close. So now you've said where. And then there's another little thing. I love these little yellow lines. Now, if I don't touch that, nothing will print there. But I can go ahead and open that up and I can modify that comment. Gurgling was noted when the sink was draining. This can indicate poor or inadequate venting. So as I work on my library, I often try to write vague parent comments, and then I can add all this specific detail. And what is happening is that in my report writing, what used to have 10, 20, 30 comments, I'm able to just reduce the sheer volume of comments that I have. I just don't need as many comments. So, my sinks, I can often get away with just these 4 main comments here. We could look at stopper repairs needed. Well, what was needed? I could double click on it. The stopper is missing, and just click on that and you're done. And then you can choose where. Maybe it was the right side main bathroom. So, it starts feeling very custom, and yet I'm not writing anything. So that's basic text replacement. Let's go back into the decks and I'll show you a gunny sack. I mean, this is text replacement on steroids. So I'm going to click my deck gunny sack, and here it is. So again, none of this yellow will print unless I select something. But this has got to be 400 deck comments all built into one. So I'm going to start up here, deck repairs needed, and I can click on this. And in my experience, most decks fall into one of these 3 categories: tune-up repairs, extensive repairs, or rebuilding. So, we could hit rebuilding and close it out. Well, what was wrong? Well, let's look at the ledger board. It wasn't bolted correctly. It was installed over the siding. There's corroded hangers, and lateral load ties are missing. What's wrong with the guardrail? It was large openings in the guard, wood decay in the guardrails loose, notched posts. So you see how you can just go down the list, maybe there were no guard walls, maybe there's nothing wrong with the floor structure, wood decay and WDO. So wood decay was noted in the floor frame, anabit exit holes were noted in some of the floor frame. So boom, 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 boom. You just keep going, and again, the yellow won't print. So these are called gunny sacked comments, and in our directions we can show you how you build them, but they're very powerful. They let you write super custom reports without needing to type anything. Cool. So this is just a quick overview. Photo captions to bullets, gunny sacks, and text replacement. Our next video, we're going to go over customizing templates and libraries. All right, so we're now on to customizing templates and libraries. So this is, again, just kind of an overview, but this is really important of how ScribeWare works. So the templates are so easy that they can be kind of confusing. We don't have a special place where you need to edit your template. Basically, every single job that you do could become a template. So what I like to do is take a job and I put it out in the future. So notice the date here, November 23rd, 2077. And I kind of give that, I've got a couple dates where, and this, what this means is if I want to work on my template, I'm going to open this one. When I make changes to it and I hit Save Template under Narrative Style, the next time I choose Narrative Style Template, it's basically serving me a copy of this one. So I hit Narrative Style and it just copies that. So ScribeWare's templates are so customizable that the word template hardly applies. So let me show you that. Like if we open up one of these reports that we were just kind of fiddling around with, and this, we'll just pretend this is a job that we've started and we're doing today. Well, let's say that the house has 2 subpanels. I can go under Electric Service and Subpanel, and I can come up here and hit Copy Section. Well, now I got 2 subpanels, and I could rename that, subpanel Studio. Right, and it just kind of keeps going from there. You could, if there's 2 kitchens for the property, I could go under Kitchen, and I can come up with the 3 dots, and I can hit Copy Chapter. Now I've got another kitchen chapter that will be made, and I could come up here and I could rename this Kitchen basement. So super customizable there. So, that's really neat. So even the template itself can be changed per job. And then when I'm doing that, I never need to hit save template. It's auto saving everything. So there really is no save button anywhere in ScribeWare. So just make these changes and work on your report. And when you're done, publish it. This is why I don't like to save my template on a live job, because I've probably customized the template to suit that job in some way that I don't want to save for the next time. So that's kind of why, for me, what I like to do is go up. If I want to work on my template, I'm going to open it up and work on it here. So let's open this narrative, and this is kind of my template. And again, you can't tell the difference. It's just a job. The interesting thing that's cool about this is, if I were to hopelessly mess up this template, I could always go back in time to another job where it was just like I want it, and then I could hit save template and it would overwrite it as long as I used the right name. So when you hit save template here, if you choose an older like a job I did 2 weeks ago and I call it narrative style and I hit save template, it will overwrite this one. I mean, that older job from 2 weeks ago sort of becomes the thing. I could go back into this one and call this one narrative style, and this one would become the sort of dominant template. So I hope that makes sense with saving templates. I know it's a little confusing, which is frustrating because it's actually really simple. It's just every single job could be a template. I could hit save template and I call it narrative style, 2.0. And now you've got, if I hit save template, now I've forked the template and it's a different one than the old one. So by naming it, you can kind of keep track of them that way. You can also delete templates. So if you go into report templates in the settings, this is my narrative style here, and you could go all the way down and delete a template. So if you get a whole bunch of them, if you like saving them by date or whatever, feel free to go in and delete some of them. So the next question is, that's kind of how templates work. So what is a template? A template is the structure. It's just the bones. And the important thing that a template is not is it has nothing to do with your narrative comments. So the template is the names and sequence of all these library chapters within a chapter, or excuse me, all these report chapters, the names and the sequence within a chapter. These are all sections. It's the names and the sequence of all these sections, and then within that, it's the pull downs. All these little descriptive pull downs are all part of the template, and all these inspector notes, these little shortcuts I've built to get me my comments, all of that is part of a template save. So the template is kind of like the bones of the whole thing. There's a lot of ability to edit this. So if I click the pen here, I can drag these around, all these little equal signs. You could like move one above another and drag them around. So that lets you, that's a template change. You've resequenced those sections. You can drag the chapters around. You can rename these things, right? You could siding and trim, you could call it whatever you want, right? And so if you want to save that for the next time, you would want to hit save template. So anyway, that's kind of what the template is. Within each section, you can use these three dots and you can edit the section, and you could move these things around. You can put them in a different sequence. You could add new ones, and you could make a whole new list of new pull down, thing 1, thing 2, and we could display as checkboxes. We could make it an inspector note if we wanted. There's a lot of controls here, so we just built this new little pull down. So now I'm going to edit the section and I'll go ahead and delete that. So that gives you kind of just a super quick taste for sort of how you can edit some of these things. You can edit the section. You can have a default modifier for a section. So when you put in a new comment, notice how when I start a new comment in this section, it makes it a repair. Whereas on the exterior elevations, which are just designed to hold pictures, if I start a new comment, it's a no modifier. So I was able to set that. That's a template save. So that's kind of how templates work. And again, you save them with the save button. The narratives are different. The narratives are part of a library system, and we have a global library that could apply to multiple different templates. So if I wanted, this is a narrative comment, I have it in my library. If I want to customize it and change it, you get this little red asterisk, and I can come up here and I could update library, and then it would remember this little gibberish that I've added. So pretty simple. I could go ahead and freehand a comment. This is I want to save this, so you could come up here and add it to the library, or you can edit in library and you can actually give it a label. So I'm going to give it this one. Well, let's do a different one just in case. We'll give it 4 or 5. So we'll add as a new library entry. Now I'm going to delete it. Add observation 5555. And boom, it retrieved that. And the cool thing about the blue label is that will not print in the report. That is just for the home inspector. So you can hide your narratives with that, which is sort of super cool. Now I'm going to remove it from the library, and now it's gone. So that's how the library works. The library management, to get really into it, I would spend some time in our directions. You can look up here in our global library, and this is going to be my entire library for this template, and I could do a global search. So I could type in bolt and it'll probably find a bunch of deck comments. This will probably take a minute because it's sifting through my entire library while we're doing. So it brought up the gunnies because I would have the word bolts in these deck gunny sacks, and probably if you scroll down some, we're going to find like toilet bolts corroded, 4-bolt toilet. So kind of cool. So that's how like a global search would work. And you could winnow the search down, so you could search per chapter. So you could open up the various, well, here, let's get rid of bolt. You can open up a chapter here, and we could just search through the exterior, right? And so now it's going to kind of winnow it, and we could even just search through a section like eaves, and it might start to winnow it more. So that's kind of how all that stuff works. We won't go into library categories. That's sort of deeper customization, and this is just kind of an overview. So I hope this helps as a quick overview of customizing and saving templates and libraries. The next video we're going to do is saving your customizations. And actually, I think we'll roll that in here. I've already showed you how to save template, and then up here I've shown you how if you change something, you just update library. That saves it. So that means our next thing after that is going to be plans and pricing. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, so this is just the final segment here of our virtual onboarding, and we'll just go over plans and pricing. So I'm going to go under settings and billing, and we try to create a bunch of different options for you. We've got some various industries which will help serve up different templates for you, but what you really need is this one. So you can pay, we have an a la carte plan at the moment, and that is pay $12 per report. At the end of a month, we tally how many reports you've done, and that's how much you pay. That's nice because there's no monthly fee unless you're using the system. So we also have a pro annual. This is the best deal if you're doing any amount of volume of reports. This is kind of needed for the admin account. If you have multiple inspectors, you need some kind of either the pro annual or the pro monthly. And if you're on a team, this is like a full price for the main subscription for the admin account. So if you pay month by month, it's $99 a month. If you pay annually, it's $89 a month. So we give you a $10 a month discount if you pay annually. So these are the sort of two best deals if you're really cranking out a lot of reports. If you have a team, every person you add into the plan is $49 a month. So you could have, and that changes month to month with most teams. So if you have 4 of you, then one of the subscriptions will be this amount, one of these two amounts, and then the other 3 would be a $49 a month per other inspector. If you're part of a school, we also have student coupon codes, and that's where you put those in. Yeah, and you just put in your credit card number and stuff. So pretty easy to get signed up. If you do the sewer scope plan, it's a little bit more expensive. We support some of the biggest sewer inspection companies in Washington State, and it just takes up more server space, so we have to pay for that. So it's a little bit more expensive. But unlike a lot of systems, we offer unlimited sized videos. So kind of great. You can just drag in any size video you want. You can ditch YouTube and all that stuff. It's really good for sewer inspections. All right, guys, I hope this helps for choosing a plan. Feel free to reach out if we can help. I hope this virtual inboarding answered a lot of questions. Please see our directions. We've got directions. They're available on our website. Hold on, I'll pause it and I'll show you what they look like real quick. Okay, here are the ScribeWare directions. So these are mostly YouTube videos, but they're really well organized, and you can even come up to this search and you could search photo captions, and photo captions to bullets feature, right? So it's just going to serve up videos and bring you right there. You could search up template, and it's going to have how to import and inspect it template, inspector only notes, build your team. So lots of stuff under template. How to import your Spectora template. You go there and here are all the directions. So this is a really nice set of directions that can walk you literally through every part of ScribeWare. So if you don't have these, feel free to reach out and ask for them. But this will go into more detail than we've been able to do today. But I hope you enjoyed this onboarding overview, and feel free to reach out. We'd love to work with you. Thanks for watching.